Welcome to my channel. I'm Robin City Oko, and this video is going to be on how I got this bomb red hair for under $30.
Say
Yes, under $30. Tell me this wig does not look like it's under $30. And if you say it does, you hating. But anyway, so I thought I'd make this video because contrary to what many people believe, you don't have to dish out a bunch of money to look good. So I thought I'd share with you what I did to make this wig under $30. So if you're interested in watching, if you're interested in seeing how I did this, keep on watching. All right, so let's get started. Here's what we'll need. We'll need a dome cap. This one's a mesh one. I don't recommend getting the mesh one because the hot glue goes through and just makes a mess with the plastic bag. But a dome cap, a hot glue gun, some glue sticks, a scissors, some T-pins, a Denman brush, a plastic bag, a comb, a needle and thread. And this here is the hair that I'm using. It's by the brand Outre, as you can see. It's 100% premium human hair, premium hair. So it's not all human hair, it's mixed. And the inches are 22, 18, and 20. And it has a 4-inch deep closure in the color burgundy as well. So we're starting by putting this dome cap on our hair, on my head. And I'm putting it a little bit behind my hairline, like where I would want the wig to be on my head. So I'm just lining up the closure piece. And I'm going to take a colored, this is a lip pencil, but you want something that has some color so that you can draw around the edges of the closure to mark your cap. So when you're sewing it, you can make sure you're putting it in, you're sewing it on in the right place so that when you put the wig on, it'll be right where you need it to be. Now this step is optional, so you don't have to do this. I just like to do this when I want precision. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm using that pencil to mark all around. So now that I have done that, I took that cap off my head and I'm putting the plastic bag around my mannequin head. So I'm just securing it, putting a little knot in the back so it doesn't move around while I'm doing what I'm doing. By the way, let me just say, excuse my voice. I'm a little hoarse, unfortunately. But yeah, so now I'm putting that dome cap on top of that plastic bag that's on the mannequin head. And I'm just going to put the closure down, and using some of those T-pins, I'm just going to stick them in to make sure that this closure stays in place while I'm going to be sewing it on. And, you know, just to keep it in place, you don't want it flopping around and to have to keep moving it and all of that. It's a little annoying. So I just use the T-pins to just secure it down. So, I like to do it from one side to the other because if you do the back before you do the sides, it's just all lopsided. So that's just a tip. So now I have my needle all threaded and I'm going to begin sewing. I'm starting at the edge of the lace, and I'm not sewing like, as you can see, there's a little space between where the hair stops and the end of the lace stops. So I'm starting off by sewing over that area. Okay, so the way that I'm sewing, I'm putting the needle into the lace, and when I pull it through, I take a piece of thread and toss it over so that the needle is going right between the loop. And then I just continue to do that over and over all around the closure. Again, I'm going to do one side, and then I'm going to go to the other side, and then I'll sew the back of the closure so that it's not lopsided or anything like that. It'll look even. But yeah, speeding it up because I'm sure by now you get the gist. I'm sure most of you guys know how to sew. And if you want a more detailed video on how to sew your closure down or how to sew here onto the cap, then just leave that request down in the comment section and I'll do that. So when I get to this part, when I'm done sewing that one side, I cut the thread and make a little loop on that side. I complete it over there, and then I go all the way to the other side and start from the beginning, doing the same thing that I was doing before. Putting the needle down into the lace, pulling it through, putting one side of the thread on the other to create a loop and pulling it right through it, and just doing it over and over until I finish that side. Here you can see that I'm finishing up that side, but instead of cutting the thread on this side, I'm just going to continue sewing around the back, because the other side is secure. It's not going to flop around or get lopsided. So this is what the closure is looking like now that it's all sewed down. I'm just going to make like a little bantu knot, well, a big one, to get the hair out of the way. So when I start gluing the hair down, I won't get glue on that area. But you want to make sure your closure is sewed down really well. And I like to sew it instead of gluing it so that it's more secure, because that's the part you're going to be like maneuvering the most, and that's the part you're going to see when you look in the mirror. So I'm taking the weft and I'm lining it up across the back of my hair to see how much hair I need for this portion. I'm then going to cut it, and I'm going to take a T-pin to hold it in place while I hot glue the other end down. So I'm just going to take the hot glue gun and I'm putting a little bit of glue at a time, and then I'm going to just, press the hair down against that hot glue. But you want to be careful. Hot glue is obviously hot. You don't want to burn your fingers. But you want to be careful when you put the glue. You don't want big globs of glue, because then your hair won't look as neat as it can. But if any case you feel like there's a lot of glue, you can use, I use the back of a T-pin. You can use whatever you want to kind of push the hair into the glue. So I'm just doing that again, doing another area, adding a little bit of glue, pressing the hair, the weft into the glue, taking some more hot glue in small amounts, and then I'm going to take the weft and push it against the glue again. This dries fairly quickly, so you don't need to blow on it or wait too long. Kind of makes the process go by pretty fast. And that's the reason why I love doing these hot glue gun wigs, especially because the hair is half synthetic. It's synthetic hair. It's not 100% human hair. So I just didn't want to take a whole bunch of time to sew down some hair that's probably not going to last as long as some human hair. So it was quick, easy, and shout out to my glue stick falling out. I'm like so clumsy. But anyway, so I'm just going to continue doing that all around. I'm speeding this up so you can still see what I'm doing, and you can do it with me if you are, but you kind of get the gist by now. Put some glue, push the weft on, continue on all the way across until you get to the other side. And I'm just going to keep on doing this until all the cap is filled with hair. So this is what we're looking like after all that hard work. Well, I guess it wasn't really hard work. It probably took about 30 minutes to an hour. And that's why I love making these. It's so quick. But yeah, so I'm just taking off the plastic bag attached to the wig off of the mannequin head. And I'm just going to pull the bag off from the cap. This is where I say don't get the mesh ones because the glue gets through the holes. It makes it hard to get the plastic bag off. Get the regular ones. Alright, so now that the wig is constructed, we're just gonna take this little head tie off. I just put some Hicks edge control on my edges to lay them down and tied it down, you know. Gotta get them edges laid. These are my braids. A little ratchet because I had them in for a few days, but we're just gonna throw the wig on. I got my mirror, so I'm gonna step aside and check this in the mirror real quick. Can't be on camera looking ratchet. So got my little mirror, my big mirror. Don't judge me. Yep. So we got it on straight. Just gonna brush it out a little bit. I'm using a Denman brush because that's the closest brush that I have to me. Just gonna brush it out a little bit. As you can see, not really tangled. You know, silky. The color is bomb and silky straight. So all I did was, like I said, I didn't put any glue or anything on it. All I did was just throw it on my head. I slid it to the side and threw it behind my hairline just a little bit so that it looks a little bit more natural. And yeah, this is what we have. So I just wanted to jump in and let you guys know some of my thoughts on the hair so far. I really love how it looks, the color, the way the hair doesn't look too shiny even though it's synthetic, the way that part looks so natural. Some of the downsides are that it does get tangly over time, which is expected because it's synthetic, but it's still bomb for under $30. Okay, y'all, this is the final look. What you guys think? I love it. And look at how natural that closure looks. Alright y'all, so this concludes the video on how I got this bomb red slaying hair. So if you made it to the end, just know you're the real MVP. So comment down below, slay. Cause this year, I'm telling y'all, we ain't come to play. We slaying wigs, we slaying fashion, we slaying demons. Just saying. Okay, so if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. Alright, bye.